What's going on, Lemurians and Yetinites? Sounds like a cult. Welcome to another episode of what are we talking about? The Lemur and Yeti podcast. Today, John and I, aka Lemur and Yeti, we are joined by none other than the Wood Boys themselves, Michael and Nico, Red Wolf, and the War Pony. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Go ahead and wave at that microphone. And we have a very special guest. For the first time, Coma Lacta himself, Bryce. Say hi, Bryce.
Hi, Bryce.
Yes. He listens very well. He listens to orders very well. And John.
So hi!
That was beautiful. That was like a chorus of sweet angels. Today we're going to be talking about E3. We're going to talk about all things E3 because by the time that this episode will be out, E3 will be the next day, right?
Yes.
E3 will be tomorrow if you are listening to this the day it comes out, which you hopefully are. So we are going to be talking about our hopes and dreams and aspirations for E3 2016. Michael didn't really get the memo on what we're talking about, so
yes,
I wanted to point that out. He got the memo and ignored it.
Yes,
so
there you go.
I wanted to officially say that on the record. I'm sorry, Michael.
No, you're not.
I'm not sorry at all. We're going to briefly go over a couple of us here. We wanted to say our favorite awkward E3 moments. These lists are a great commodity amongst the internet. There are some awkward moments that are just so painful that I literally pulled my shirt up over my eyes because I was so uncomfortable and I could not take it, as Nico will attest. You saw some of those moments, right?
Yes,
Can
those
you
were
explain the feelings when you saw these things?
wanting to run and hide in a room and never I was
You're
trying.
the voice boy.
Nico, could you very loudly tell us your feelings about like the awkward moments of these past E3s? Like, as I said, I wanted to hide my face, cover my eyes, and I literally did. What was the feelings?
Wanting to rip my own skin off.
So there we go. This
This
got dark really fast. That's what happens when you're a part of the Lemurians and Yetinites. No, it does not. Only good things happen. No, that's not true. Nothing in life is guaranteed. Anyways, Nico, thank you for taking it to that weird place.
Anytime.
I will start. I will say the funniest moment that I can't take it because it's so awkward that it becomes good. It's like a Nicolas Cage movie or something where it's like, it's just so over the top and uncomfortable that it makes it amazing. I'm gonna say that the Konami guys, this is obvious. Those guys, the whole 1 million soldiers, that guy. And the dude staring at the back of the head, and oh my goodness, that entire thing was like, if they did that on purpose, comedic gold. If they did that on accident, comedic gold.
It's
a win-win.
Once they did it on accident.
Yes. Oh, and I loved every minute of it. But that one wasn't what made me the most uncomfortable. I would say what made me the most uncomfortable was probably the little kid. I cannot remember the year. I apologize. But she was playing with the tiger, the little tiger cub on the screen for whatever that game was, using the Kinect. They're showing it off. Connectimals. And it was painful. I feel bad for the little girl because she was just doing what she was supposed to, but it was painful. And then there's also the one where Joel McHale is on stage and they're bum rushed by a bunch of people playing laser tag in the crowd. You could cut the awkwardness with a knife. It was palpable. I had to cover my eyes because I was so uncomfortable. So anyways, all right, who else wants to chime in? And not everybody has to because I don't think everybody watched the video. I didn't actually tell Bryce we were doing this, so
Bryce.
That's my bad. Michael doesn't have an excuse though.
Oh, no.
All right, what about you, Nico? What was it? Which one was it that just made you like, oh?
Dude, every single one of them was just
but
terrible.
which one was the worst?
Probably the High School Musical one. That was
dude.
That was
Woo!
horrible.
Man, and then when you think about what it must have been like to be in that crowd and like to see that happening, oh my goodness, I don't do good in awkward situations. I would have been
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness, what is happening? Oh, I would have felt so terrible, but deep down I would have been laughing a little bit, but
Yeah.
more uncomfortable.
After watching that actually made me very, very happy that I was homeschooled. Because that's when actual high school is like, no.
Well, let me tell you, as being a part of the public school system, Bryce and we went to the same school, but I switched over right as he graduated because I timed it perfectly to avoid him. That's not true, but we did go to the same school. It was like that every single day. Musical breaking out, high school basketball kids doing choreographed dances and awkwardly trying to get everybody to sing along. You're just like, oh, this again. So that is 100% accurate.
And Air Jesus.
And Aaron, little backstory. First time I ever met Bryce or saw him, Bryce was playing basketball, and he had very, very long hair. And as soon as I walked into the gym, I looked over and I saw him doing a layup with the basketball. And no, not to be blasphemous towards our Lord and Savior, but I did happen to say Air Jesus as soon as I saw him because he looked very much like the stereotypical, Western version of Jesus, the white guy with like the fair hair, fair skin, and he was just spread eagle, like going for it, man. It's like, Air, woo! And I was like, oh my goodness. It was hilarious. So, anyways, John, what about you? What was your awkward E3 moment?
Awkward E3 moment for me would be anything involving the celebrities.
Oh gosh, yes.
Specifically sports ones. I remember last year with Pele, I believe it was. Just stop. We don't need a celebrity sports player on stage to tell us about a game that they themselves never played.
Mm-hmm. Testify, brother.
And it just gets bad because when they get up there, they don't know how to do public speaking. And when
No.
they do, it's about their sport, not about a game about their sport. Which is bad because when they're up there, they're just like, yeah, my sport's like this. And it's like, and the game is apparently like that.
Yeah, so accurate and lifelike.
So accurate. And anytime they use a peripheral for a video game, so I'm talking the Kinect, the PlayStation Move,
Yes.
even the Nintendo stuff. Anytime they use that, and now even with the VR stuff, because last year with PlayStation VR and some of the other VR sets that I've seen, like not even at an E3. Just okay, don't test it out. Just tell us about it, and then we'll watch people online do it because it feels like every time they try to test that stuff out, it never works.
Like pre-record it and let us see that.
Yeah.
Because they never work right. Oh man, the Book of Spells.
Oh, that was.
I
the
saw
Book
that
of
video
Spells
for the
was
first time
horrible.
today, and that was uncomfortable because they could not get it to work right, and it was just like, all right, do the.
It was more entertaining to read a book than to watch them talk about a book of spells.
Yeah, I know what you're saying with the Miyamoto trying to play the what Zelda was that? Was that
Skyward Sword?
Skyward Sword?
Yeah, Skyward Sword.
And the Wii was not working. I felt so terrible. But then he's like, "Is anybody using wireless?" It's like, oh man.
It was one of those things where it's like, what do you mean wireless?
Sorry, Miyamoto. Thank you for all that you've done, but that was I felt very bad for you in that moment.
Yeah, well, it wasn't him who said it. It was one of the other guys on stage.
I think. Well, no, I think
Miyamoto
he
was
said
the
it
one-
and then he translated it for him because Miyamoto was speaking Japanese.
Okay.
So, all right, Bryce, did you find any?
I'm trying to think back to one of the Zelda. I think it was one of the creators of Link or whatever walked out on stage with a sword in the wrong hand and shield in the wrong hand. And it's like everyone knows Link is left-handed with the sword, and he walks right out backwards, and it's like
Bryce takes
you're
that
supposed to
very
be a
seriously.
creator? It bothered me a lot.
Yeah.
I exhibited it at Phoenix Comic Con, and Bryce was one of my
Somebody.
helpers at my booth. And every Link cosplayer that went by that had the sword in the wrong hand, he was like personally offended.
Yes.
So
Bryce doesn't like Link though.
it was
He's never played
Miyamoto.
Zelda.
It was Miyamoto who went out on stage holding it. But that was after like one of the most epic moments because everybody was hoping that they would announce like they kind of were like, oh, one more thing, and then they announced Twilight Princess, I believe, which is what everybody was like because there was a lot of fanboys that were complaining about Wind Waker being cartoony, and when they announced that, everybody lost their mind. It was at the end of the show, and they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, boom!" And then if he came out, I'm trying to remember what hand he had the sword in, but when he came out, though, it was so epic. I'm not even like that big into the Zelda franchise, just because I never played them as a kid. Not that they're bad games, I just never played them. So I was so excited though with those people. I was like, yes, yes. I felt the energy of like the excitement and happiness. All right, so we are going to transition into our hopes for. We're going to transition into our hopes for E3 2016. Whoop, whoop. I will kick things off. There's one that I'm pretty sure all of us are going to have a crossover with, so I'll let somebody else take that one. But I'm going to say I am most excited, and I hope there's more information for Scalebound. I am so excited for that game. I've been looking forward to it when I saw it was announced. Now the dorky protagonist guy who looks like the Dante from Devil May Cry. And now I'm not crazy about like the broy nature of him, but his dialogue made up for it. He looks like I don't know. He's got like a leather jacket on, bleach blonde hair, and big headphones. It just seems like a little try hard, but then he's got a giant dragon arm scale thing, and I was like, okay, I can. And then the way he talked, I was like, this is all right. I'll get over it. I'll get over his broy nature, and I will accept that because the game looks so dang good, and I am so excited. And I really want them to release more information about it because I think that game, the concept for it, on paper, looks fantastic, and the little demo that I saw looked fantastic, and I cannot wait to sample that there game.
So Scalebound, I haven't heard about that. What type of game is it?
Scalebound is like, from the best I can tell, and I'm pretty sure they said this. So it's like an open world adventure game with a heavy like focus on the two characters, Drew and I am totally spacing on the dragon's name. They are like they do co-op fighting with each other. The play through the actual demo of the gameplay, you take him, you like call down a marker, and you're like, he points at a tower, and then the dragon goes through and bam, he destroys it, and you kind of work together, and then Drew his dragon arm becomes an entire Dragon Knight armor, and it looks amazing. So he's like head to toe, and he gets super powerful, and he only has that for a little bit of time. So I think it's like an alt almost, and a bit like League of Legends type thing. Alt is what I meant. He goes up and he just shreds the praying mantis. They did announce that there is going to be 4-player co-op, which is awesome. So 4 people on giant dragons fighting alongside each other, fighting giant like 7-headed Hydra monsters. Like woo. That sounds so good. It's like I'm getting chills thinking about it because it's like somebody wrote a game for me. But I was gonna say one of the big aspects of it is upgrading the dragon, and you kind of get these gems, and they morph him, they evolve him into like having different things, so you can like focus on certain aspects. I think you can do like a little bit more like a striker, or more based on using the fire and whatnot. It looks fantastic. I have big hopes, and I can't wait to see what they talk about this year for it. Platinum, don't let me down. So all right, who's next?
I want to go back really quick and actually just go back. One thing I am, and I hope they get better at this year, and that's been annoying the last few years, is each company has like their own issue. Xbox, PlayStation, stuff like that. because you brought up Scaleband, and it's the perfect example of Xbox's issue is announcing a game, everyone's hyped for it, and then they say nothing about it, and they don't talk about it, because they've had a ton of games come out the last year or two that then nothing about until even it comes out, and then it's just like kind of just there. PlayStation's fault is they just keep pushing games back. But I do hope that if with Scaleband, because it does look so good, that when they have their conference, we get more about it. We don't. It's just not like something where it's in one of their like trailers where it's like, and this is there.
Yeah, and Scalebound.
And
like,
Scalebound.
Give us more gameplay.
Yeah,
I want to see that. And
more.
then the dragon evolution, the upgrading of your dragon. I want to see more of that. Please. Please. And I want to see more about the, because when they show the 4-player co-op, it's a cutscene, and the guy has two different dragon riders appear beside him, and the one has a massive, like, great sword that's, like, 8 feet long. And I'm like, I want to know more about that. Like, is that another character? Am I going to get to pick his weapons? What? Because I want to know more. Give me more. So, yeah, I would agree with that. That is annoying. I hate that. But that's why I'm hoping. That's my hopes. My hopes and dreams. I have more, but I know that Nico and Michael will touch on that. We'll all kind of we will all say our opinions on this whatever that one is. Spoilers. Teaser. That's right. Not spoilers. All right. Who's next?
All right. I guess I'll go. What I want to hear more about is because Derek saw it, and even though it's a PlayStation game, is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn, baby.
It's the thing I'm excited for because I'm the PlayStation fanboy of the group. We're far and few. Is PlayStation really all of a sudden has allowed some of their developers to make the game that the developer really wants to, and it's being made by Guerrilla Games. For info, that's the developer who all they've pretty much done is Killzone. And they've kind of just kept doing it because it's been the thing that Sony has asked them to do. So
I don't even know that much about Killzone. I've seen like the trailers for it back, when they were coming
it's actually I love the franchise. The game was really good. The Shadowfall wasn't perfect, but it's a really fun game. They even have a horde mode in it. But they're a really good developer. So when they finally got like the green light to say, okay, what do you want to make? And they told Sony, and Sony said, okay, do it. When they showed just the info about this game, everyone was confused because everyone was like, okay, the developer of Killzone. And then it was like, they announced the first imagery of it was like, there was like pictures of like polar bears and stuff and like armor and stuff and then people riding dinosaur robots. And everyone was like, what in the world is this?
It's called Zero Dawn Horizon. Right?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn, the exact opposite. So it's like it was that game I was telling you about, you guys, last night. It's like post-apocalyptic, where like robots kind of are wild animals out and moving around, and
there's not a ton of info on the story yet.
Yeah, and it looks really cool. The gameplay was like, whoo, man, it looks fun.
Bows and arrows versus
robots.
Well, explosives. Bows.
Yeah, explosives.
Explosive bows.
Hey,
thank
you.
Ben,
Exploding bows.
get out.
That would suck.
Out.
What explosive arrow?
So, and the big thing about it is like just the fact that they've gotten to make this game is really exciting. And when it was shown, when the trailer finally came out of it after the photos, everyone was freaking out because they were like, "What the heck is this?"
Oh yeah.
And so I'm just really hyped for that one.
Oh, me too.
They're saying it may not come out till next year, but there is talk that it may come out this year. I'm really hoping that it does come out this year because that would be awesome. But that game's just, I'm unbelievably excited for it. A game there's a couple of things I don't know about. There's talk that this is me. I'll be the one talking about the PlayStation side of the conferences. But two other things that excite me is the developer of Infamous, who actually is the video for this podcast, Sucker Punch. Apparently, they're making a new game, and apparently it's going to be another superhero game like Infamous. But apparently, they're getting the rights to make a game of Spider-Man. And so apparently they're gonna make like an open world Spider-Man game, which
And made by these people?
made by the people who make Infamous. Yep.
John is currently
What?
playing
Playing
Infamous.
Infamous, yep.
And I was actually going to comment earlier on how awesome the graphics are on this
Oh, yeah,
and
the
how
game's-
fun it looks.
Infamous, the series is awesome.
Looks good.
But so I'm really excited. Like a lot of people are annoyed by this. They're like, oh, they should make their own thing. But if this is what they want to do, because that's the thing that's being said. If the developers Sucker Punch wanted to make this, if they're gonna make a Spider-Man game, I'm stoked. I'm totally for it. Go for it, guys.
Yeah.
And then the other one that I'm hyped for because I know they're making a game, I just don't know what it is Insomniac. The last game they made was Sunset Overdrive for Xbox, and it's an amazing game. But it was the same thing as like I said earlier about Scalebound. It became a game that was really hyped. Then all of a sudden they talked nothing about it when it came out, and it just came out. Apparently they're making a new game, and the talks are is that they're doing it again with Sony. And Sony apparently, now this is all rumor, but apparently they're making a game just like Guerrilla Games is, where it's a game that's being made that they wanted to make, kind of like Sunset Overdrive was a game they wanted to make. So it'll be interesting to see if there is something there and what it is. So I'm hyped for those three developers to see what they've got.
Yes. I want to go back and talk about them possibly making a Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
When I look at that, you look at studios like Rocksteady. They're the ones that made the Arkham Knights, the Arkham games for Batman. Those are fantastic games, and up until that point, Batman had one of the worst track records in video games. He had horrible games.
I think the only superhero that's worse track record than him is Superman. Right?
Oh yeah, dude. Whoo, man, Superman has some stinkers.
Oh yeah.
Superman 64, anyone? Holla.
All
Shout
the
out.
memories.
Yeah. Did you used to play that one, Bryce?
We rented it for a week. And,
Me too. That was enough.
and it was the one game where you play it for the first day, then you don't play it again.
Yes.
You play
Oh.
the other game you get.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Yeah, horrible game. Just absolutely atrocious. You have to look up a video of the gameplay. It's embarrassing. So what I'm saying is not that there hasn't been good Spider-Man games, because I love the Ultimate Spider-Man game that came out on PS2. Those guys, like, I'm looking at Infamous right now as John's playing it. And I'm like, this looks awesome. Like, a Spider-Man game of this caliber, that sounds amazing to me. Go for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely go
And
for it.
a lot of people are saying, like, make their own game. If they want to make this a Spider-Man game, I mean, if they were making superhero games to begin with, somebody had to have some love for superheroes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
It's like a passion project,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
so-
for a lot of them.
if they were like, we want to make a Spider-Man, or they were given the opportunity, do you want to make a game about Spider-Man? I'm pretty sure they're like, yeah.
yeah, because this whole game is based around like being a superhero, right?
Yeah.
And so there you go. Boom.
That's the same developer of Ratchet and Clank, right?
Nope, that's Insomniac.
Insomniac
That's
is
the other
Sunset
one he was
Overdrive.
talking about.
Okay.
Sunset Over-
Sunset. Okay.
Yeah. That's
We
a
got the two
crazy
confused.
game. We got that with the games with gold, and that game's insane. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's fun, but it is like chaos.
Yeah, it's a hugely chaotic.
I love the soundtrack for that game. It fits it. I've never seen like a soundtrack fit a game so perfectly in my entire life. The other would be Dark Souls. They have very fitting music, but we're not talking about that. So go ahead.
A new Super Mario Sunshine game. It will-
You said that, we're like, that's not going to happen. You can talk about it and you can hope because, hopes are fun. Hopes and dreams.
I don't want to start like a flame war, especially because I know your love of Mario, but Super
Yeah.
Mario Sunshine was the best Mario game ever.
Not
And if
true,
they-
but I'll let you think that.
If they were to come out with a...
I'm a little bit of a Mario fanboy, so my opinion is like at least 12 dozen more than his. That's how much mine is worth compared to his.
That's probably true.
And that's just between us.
But a new Super Mario Sunshine
Yeah.
game on like Xbox One would... Dude.
Okay, look, let's back this up. We're hoping... This is what we're talking about here. The talks about if the NX fails, about them just giving up and putting it on other systems and not making a Nintendo system anymore. I love you, Nintendo, but I
Stop
can't...
being stupid.
Stop being stupid. I will fix your company. give me a call. I'm not going to give you my phone number over here, but email me or something, and I will set up a plan to come out to Japan and fix everything you guys are doing wrong, because I love you. But if you're not going to hire me, then please NX Crash and Burn and get your system out of the way and get your games to the people, because that's what we love about you. You make excellent games.
Yes, not consoles.
Not consoles. No, I'm not talking like Wii Music or anything like that. Pass. I'm talking like Mario and that's the big one that I care about from Nintendo. Paper Mario, please, a classic Paper Mario game. Continue, Nico. I could go on for hours about this. Sorry for yelling. So,
Should I get
Mario Sunshine. I never played Mario Sunshine. I played it. Oh, okay, that's not true. I played it for about 20 minutes at my friend's house when he rented it on his GameCube. I did not own a GameCube. We owned a PS2, and then later on the first Xbox, and we were way too cool for a Nintendo system. We're so gritty and awesome. We play Halo. We don't play Mario Sunshine. No, I always played Mario games. My brothers used to make fun of me because they would play like GoldenEye, and then they'd have to stop because my mom and dad would be like, "All right, your time's up," and then I would play Yoshi's Story. They would get so mad. They're like, "Oh, this game is so stupid." So, shout out to my brothers. Anyways, okay, yes, and we are going to transition onto one that I'm sure everybody here, because we are a fire team ourselves. We're going to talk about Destiny and was it Rise of Iron? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it looks like.
That's what it looks like, at least. The next expansion for Destiny. Nico, tell us your hopes, dreams, and aspirations for this Rise of Iron.
Just more content, more
Yes.
strikes, more all the PlayStation exclusives that they got for like all these other expansions for us who play Xbox, for us to finally
Yeah.
get. And then also this, not Rise of Iron, but are they going to be talking about Destiny 2 at all?
Probably not, but we're hoping.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we hope. We hope we get at least a little nugget. Little nugget.
Yeah.
So, I will talk about what I want to see. Space Wolves. I'm looking at the artwork for the Rise of Iron. Now, it'll be really embarrassing if this is just like a concept piece of artwork that leaked and we're talking about it like this is going to be the next
Well,
thing.
for info, it also leaked off of apparently a person who works at Bungie leaked off their own table, and it was posters, not
Yeah.
just a thing of art.
Which looks fantastic. I'm admiring it. And the wolves. I want a wolf to fight alongside me. I want it to just follow me everywhere I go, but if it's just for like a strike or something, I will settle for that. I don't want that. I want it always with me. Come on, these planets are habitable. I mean, they were terraformed by the Traveler, so... yeah, I would say the same thing. I want them to add just as much to this game like they did with the Taken King, if not more, because this is the last one. This is the shebang, man. This is it.
Like, build up for 2.
Yes, give us so much stuff that we just can't take it. Like we can't fathom it. Please, it'll be so sick. I have big hopes for that, and if anybody would like to add anything, Michael. What about you? What do you want out of that?
I'd like to see multiple exotics.
More exotics.
Yeah, or not even just more, but like they allow you to wear 2 and use 2 because they've
man.
made like all of like if you look at the bones of Yao and then the young Hikara spine, they match perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they put them purposely.
I know it's
there.
painful too because I have both of those items, and I'm like, if I could only wear these, if I could just put them together, it would be incredible.
I'll say this because I don't think they're ever going to do that.
No, I don't either. But hopefully.
If that, which I don't think they do, make sets. So make an other version of those. That's a legendary version.
Yeah.
So that way you can tell which one's exotic, but at least then I have a set that matches completely.
Yeah. Because, I have the Bones of Yao, and they look awesome, but the ability is so good that, like, I love the way they look, but there are times where I'm trying to get a theme going with my guy, and when I got like, I don't know, something cleaner, and then you go down to the boots and it's like camouflage pants with spinal cord tied onto it. I'm like, whoa, okay, this is a little mismatched here. But I don't want to get rid of them because they're fantastic. They do so much. Like that double jump as a blade dancer is phenomenal. I know that you can have that with the Night Stalker class, but I will say also triple jump. Yeah, I was like all the jumps. I want another class. I want or subclass. Is what I meant to say. Subclasses. Add more, please. I want that giant fire hammer. I'm glad it's a fire hammer and not a fire axe because that would be weird. No.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Inside joke. Nico and I had a weird argument about axes and hammers. It was really weird. One day maybe we'll read it for you and then we'll explain the rest of the conversation. It's hilarious though because we were both misunderstanding what the other one was saying. Hilarious. So, yeah.
I got something.
Okay, go for
I'd
it,
like
man.
to see in the next DLC would be a bit more 6-player strikes, but they scale per players.
Yeah.
So you could do it with 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yes.
and it all scales, and it just gives you a little bit bonus for the item drop rate.
Yeah.
So you can get everything with a 3-player strike, but you have a better chance with a 6.
Yeah. Because we have a big fire team that all plays, and there are times where when we all want to play something, but the only things we can do are raids or Crucible. And there are times where Crucible and raids just are not appealing, and I want to do a strike with my crew. And only half of us can go. I mean, we have more than that. We have 7 or 8 that play with us. And so it's very awkward when you have more than 4 on because it's like, yeah, would you mind dropping off? Okay. That's not true. It's not like that, but
It is like that.
it is.
I mute my microphone for the crowd.
Bryce sobs uncontrollably every time. Oh man. So I would totally agree with that. That would be amazing.
Yeah, better scaling.
Mm-hmm.
Items, I would like a little bit more customization.
Yes.
I mean,
I'm
with
all
your-
about customization.
Some exotics have, I don't know, 10 choices overall, but
Oh,
you
man.
choose one of each thing.
I
so
feel like that would be
it's
Destiny
very-
2, but
very narrow on it. But, I mean, hinting
Oh,
towards
gotcha.
that. Give you a taste of it now, so
Mhm.
when Destiny 2 comes out, it's even more.
yeah. I want dragons as well. I see those dragons on Venus. You can't hide them from me.
That's right. They're there. We've seen the videos.
We've seen them. I have a video of it. I have proof. I have proof. Oh man. Do you have anything else, Bryce, that you're looking forward to?
I would like another more round weapon type.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of firearms, not like
Yeah.
you have your rocket launchers, shotguns. You kind of have everything,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like it's still missing something to round out all the weapons.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is, but they're creative. They could figure out something.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
I
make,
agree.
Make us more happy.
Yes. Please give us all the joy, all the happiness. Excellent. Excellent. What? Do you have any other games that you're looking forward to?
Other games, I am kind of excited for Square Enix.
Mm-hmm. They have a lot coming out.
They got quite a bit.
Long-awaited games.
Like
Mhm.
Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm not sure if I'm overwaiting for it. Like I wanted it 10 years ago.
You say, am I overweight for Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, so I'm like, if it comes out, I might pick it up.
Yeah.
But
It
Final-
does seem like a really long time.
yeah, but if you think of all the things Disney has come out with
Mm.
that they could add
They
in,
Oh,
have
yeah.
announced some of the levels in it. Frozen is definitely one of them.
Of course,
Yeah.
I would be
Which-
surprised.
Yeah, was announced.
I mean, like I would like Frozen, Wreck-It Ralph would be
Big
pretty
Hero
Oh,
cool.
6
man.
is in it.
Oh, nice. That's perfect.
I mean, there's so many universes they can just
Oh, yeah.
cash money on.
Oh, dude,
it's
yeah.
like stupid not to.
Yeah, it would be very
I mean,
stupid. Not
it could have unlimited DLC basically
Yeah.
with every movie that comes out
Yeah.
if they want to cash.
Did
it
they
out.
ever do any?
They did Tron.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they did the
Tron.
original Tron before, like it was brought back to everybody's attention, really, with the
Yeah, they did
Tron
before
Legacy.
it was cool again. They're the hipsters.
Yeah, the Tron hipsters in the house tonight. And then they.
Then you have all the Marvel stuff that Disney owns.
Yeah.
There's
That
no
would be
Marvel.
crazy.
I do know there's no Marvel and no Star Wars, unfortunately, going to be in Kingdom Hearts.
Can you imagine a lightsaber keyblade? That'd be pretty awesome.
Yep.
Or is there something like that already?
Looks. No. I forget what the Tron
Well,
one looks like.
they never did any of the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff either. I know that that's not as popular anymore, but that's a lot of stuff they could do.
I think they did something a little bit darker.
Swashbuckling.
I forget.
They did Tim Burton stuff, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
They had that.
Kingdom Hearts 2, I only did it play through once, so I don't really remember it
I
too well.
actually never played through either of them because I got so frustrated. I was so into it, and then I could not find my way around the stupid map. Every single level was like that. It's probably just because I'm stupid, but I got so angry. I got to the Aladdin level in the first one, I think, and oh man. I'm also going to rat out my brother a little bit here. My brother Dale. If you're listening, Dale, this is for the enjoyment of us all. I remember watching you fight the Cerberus in Kingdom Hearts 2, and you could not beat him, and you were so furious.
I remember that thing.
You were so furious about it, and I remember walking in and see you just punching your leg or something, and oh man, so shout out again to my brothers. Oh man, there's somebody listening that played it and they're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Cerberus really?
Easiest guy in the game.
Easiest level in the entire game.
Yeah, I'm not good at video games. I just
We
do
just
stuff.
we just play them.
Yeah.
That's our whole channel. It's like, I hope that comes across when you watch that we're not trying to claim like we're good at these games. We just enjoy playing them, and that goes for everybody here except for Nico.
Yeah.
Nico is incredible at Crucible. I think it's because he cheats, and he also it takes performance enhancing drugs to play. His thumbs are like robots, man. It's insane. These things can crush concrete. Nico is extremely good at Crucible, and every time he's pretty much every time he's first place, and I'm near the bottom somewhere. I'm so good at this, guys. Pat me on the back, please.
And I'm there getting all the assists for Nico's skills.
Yep, because Nico's
skills.
Yep, KS,
Skills.
man. The KS is real. Oh man.
Oh, back to E3.
Back to E3. Sorry. I do hope for more awkward moments as well. I don't wish that on anybody, but if they're gonna happen, please make them good. I guess I kind of did.
Don't worry, Ubisoft and EA will handle that.
I want the
Yeah.
Konami guys back, please. I want the luchadors smacking each other's chests. That was hilarious. And then the dude staring at the back of the guy's head. Fantastic. that makes me laugh every time.
What about the Oculus?
Oh man, the Oculus.
The awkward moments with the Oculus.
The awkward moments with the Oculus. Oh man, there's so much potential for that. I didn't even think
Yeah.
about that.
There's
by
Oculus
potential I mean
isn't
awkward.
going to have a press conference though.
Oh.
They're just there.
But you
But
can have
we
people
do
enjoying
have-
playing
we-
the game.
We have PlayStation VR, so they're gonna show it. Everyone shows their peripherals. That's the point I made about how
Yeah.
annoying it is. They're gonna show that. So we do have potential for a flub there,
Yes.
because they're gonna show that on stage, because that's gonna get released this year. So they're gonna announce it at E3 what the release date is.
I actually would like to make a request that you hire the entire Konami team to that was at that to go up
I
and
feel like if
demo
they did
your VR
If
headset.
everything failed, everyone would call it the best VR like display ever.
Then you
Yeah.
have like people applauding and crying, and it's like it's so good. Oh man, Oculus. I'm not. I think
I
that.
feel like it'd be kind of dangerous, like with some of the games. It's like you're punching something, you need a good boundary.
Yes.
And if it's like a two-player Oculus game and you're standing right next to each other,
Mhm.
you need some type of divider.
Yes.
Something's gonna awkward happen. Don't reach for that potion. Don't reach for that sword.
You're gonna just have like a makeshift wall that you roll in between you and your friends so you don't punch each other in the face.
Yeah.
Oh man. Are we talking about Oculus?
Oculus VR,
Okay.
whatever.
I'm gonna say, as myself here, this is my opinion. I don't know if these guys share it or not, but I think that VR is just the next motion control.
Oh,
it's
it is.
just a gimmick. I mean,
Oh,
now
oh.
it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick that has more potential. I will give you that.
Okay.
But it's a gimmick. Like, I feel as though there's so much hype around it and people want you to like it. It's just, I don't know, man. Did nobody watch Sword Art Online?
Okay.
What about kind of the 3D phase of video games?
That was a
There's
joke.
3D video games, 3D TVs. You don't really hear people playing in 3D modes much.
No, yeah.
So it's like,
And the idea was so cool, and it's like, no.
yeah, that was lame.
Yeah.
I'm tired of
Flash
standing.
in
Let
the
me
pan.
sit down.
Yeah. I remember Andrew Schwab of Project 86, my favorite band. He said he went to E3 and he said, "You can call me a dinosaur here, but I would like to just sit down and play my video games, please." And I was like, "Testify, brother." Because Kinect was fun for like 2 days, and then it just got really old. And I feel like I feel like a lot of people are going to have tons of eye issues from VR. That's like, I don't know. That's just,
Yeah.
I'm just not
What
super
did your
stoked
parents say
about
when
it.
you were a kid?
Yeah.
Step back from the screen. Now
Yeah.
they're putting the screens as close as possible to your eyes.
Oh, man. We sound like old men. Like, that daggone VR. Boy, I tell you, gonna make you blind. You're gonna come out there with cross-eyed.
Yeah.
I'm not super stoked about it. Especially for how much they are. Like,
It's like the
That's-
PlayStation 3
I-
all over
Derek's
again.
review. Yeah.
I'm actually super stoked, and I'm happy that it's so expensive. And the reason why is this isn't going to be those gimmick.
The reason why is Lemur's a baller.
The reason why is they're not pitching it as a gimmick because this time they're already saying it's not for everybody. It's for those who can afford. Oculus has come out and pretty much said unless you can afford this, or unless you really want this, you're never going to get it anyways because you have to have like a top tier PC to even run the Oculus. What's Hive or something? What's the other one? There's Oculus, there's PlayStation VR, and there's another one with motion controllers. And the motion controllers for that have, in everything I've seen so far, have been unbelievable. Like they actually like legitimately like read your hand when you grab and everything. And they've even set up where there's now feet ones too, and you can kick with them and everything. The potential for this one is way more. So the future of this is a lot better. The nice thing is that right now they're even pointing out that it's not something that anyone thinks is going to sell right now. Whereas with like Kinect and stuff like that, they were trying to shove that down your throat every which way of you had to buy it.
Come on, guys,
Like
like
Xbox,
this, please.
Xbox One when it launched, it was like you had to have it. You didn't get a choice. You gotta connect. Now with this, it's sold separately. It's a certain price, and everyone's like, it's only if it feels more natural than everything else that's come out before. Whereas like everything else was almost like they told us we had to have it. Where like even when PlayStation had the motion controllers, it was like the certain games would come out and they'd be like, well, it's better with motion controllers, and then some of them even came out and said you needed motion controllers, which then they had to add after with updates of where you didn't need motion controllers. This one's it's even getting its own. Most of the companies are making like its own side store for it, where on Steam there's like a certain section just for VR games. PlayStation's having a certain store that's gonna have in the store section that is just for VR games. It just feels like this is something I feel like in the future is going to be something we're going to talk about. And it's going to be something big, but it's going to take time.
At the end of the day, I just think that video games, they can try and do these innovations and stuff. At the end of the day, a TV, a controller in your hand, that's what people want. Now, again, like I said, Oculus has more potential than motion-controlled games. I just think that it's just the next... I mean, yeah, it's a fancier Kinect. Yeah, it has more potential than the Kinect, but it's still just a gimmick. And that's my thing. I could be completely wrong. I will, in the future, if I play it and I love it, I will happily recant my statement. But my statement stands. Not looking forward to it. Not gonna buy it unless I somehow become a multi-millionaire. So yeah, that's our opinions on that. Unless you want to throw yours in, Bryce,
I pretty much agree with that.
with me or John,
With
or both.
I mean, it's a good idea, but I'd rather sit down.
Yeah.
I know they're trying to show off like the 3D art gimmick with the Oculus. It's like
Yeah.
artists can use it, and it's like
Yeah, that one was really
Yeah.
awkward. Because especially how they did it, it felt very set up. Where it was like, I don't feel like that was actually made by the person trying to draw it.
I mean, in stylus drawing pads first came out. How if you accidentally touched it with
Yeah.
your wrist, it just made a line go across the screen. I feel like this is gonna be the same way if for art and whatever. It's
Yeah.
it's still beta, not
Yeah.
including that Nintendo VR
Yeah.
piece of junk years
Well, the-
ago.
Oh, are you talking about the what is that called? The game? Wait, no, it's not Game Freak. That's something else. The Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was special. My brother had one of those.
And you go to Toys R Us and they had that there. It hurt your eyes. I was playing for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And there was a very lovely color of dark red.
Red on black.
Yep.
Maybe some more red.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I will say one thing that's interesting with the VR is because a lot of things people are talking about is like the having to not sit down. Is there's a lot of games that are coming out that are sit down that I think will be cool, like for like some of the first person shooters and stuff, or like first person games where you can look around without using the joysticks.
Horror games.
Yeah, horror games. Oh man, they're
Five
pushing
Nights
that
at
hard.
Freddy's.
They're pushing that hard right now with the VR of like first person
Yeah.
view with that. But I'm interested in what they'll could do with that, because then you could free up one of the joysticks and maybe do something else.
I could see MechWarrior Online maybe using it, but that would kind of be own matches that require Oculus to play the match.
Yeah.
Because that game, like, you have your torso twist and a little bit of
Yeah.
head, but most of the time your cockpit is in the torso, so you got to twist the torso
Yeah.
and the guns in it.
Yeah.
It might be able to make it work for a sit-down game,
Yeah.
but I still feel like it's trying too hard to
Yeah.
simulate it.
Yeah, and there's rumors, and this is only a rumor right now, that the next Nintendo system will have VR heavily included in it. And now, if that's true, this is rumor mongering. I know, I'm sorry, but if it's true, you can just pretty much go, all right, Sony, Xbox, get those pens ready to sign over the characters because that's gonna flop hard. Oh, Nintendo, please. Hey, go ahead and throw that in there.
Yeah, do it.
Go
I'm
ahead.
okay with it.
Go ahead. I'm alright with that. I want to play it on my Xbox, so. Oh man. So, anyway, we're running out of time. We were even gonna get the fire spitting more. Bryce had very strong opinions about the DLCs and everything. We will have to talk about that in another episode. That'll be fraught with strong opinions. And it'll be fun. In a fun way. I mean, I'm sure it will test our friendship, and I'll probably try and stab you with a hockey skate.
At
Happy
least
Gilmore.
once.
Yeah, at least once. That's a test of any friendship. If you've tried to stab your friend with... No, just kidding.
Yeah, I'll just buy an Oculus and sneak into your room and put
I'll be
zombies
playing
on
my-
the screen.
I'll be playing my Oculus, and you'll stab me in the kidney.
When you're sleeping.
Yeah.
I'll wake up to zombies.
Oh man. Anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys for listening. It's been real. It's been fun, and it's been real fun. We look forward to E3, and we hope that you guys do too. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching our videos, listening to the podcast, and our opinions and whatnot. Thank you for that. Go ahead and, if you want, subscribe, give a thumbs up. Listen, share with your friends. We love you guys so much. Thank you. And have a good night, or day, or afternoon, if I don't see you.
TGFN!
Ta-ta for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
E3 tomorrow.
Woo!
I told you pull up the battery.
I heard it, and Nico's face was like...
I turned it off. I turned
I know
it-
you turned it off. I told
and,
you to pull off.
and it's also on vibrate, and I covered the
Obviously, you didn't turn it off.
it turned itself back
The
on.
alarm.
No, I didn't turn the alarm off.
Yeah,
There's
that's the
your
other thing. I tell
problem.
you to turn off the alarms.
Then I won't remember to turn them back on. Why do you think I have an alarm on there?
Put an alarm for turning it back on.
Oh man.